Hi, I'm Michael Ordonez of the Los Angeles Times here in our San Diego Comic-Con photo and video studio. We have here today the cast of The Walking Dead, or part of it. Melissa McBride, who of course is Carol, Danai Gurira, the wonderful Michonne, Ryan Hurst, whom you might not recognize without his mask as Beta, Avi Nash as Sadiq, and Casey Fleming as Judah. Thank you guys for coming. Oh, Kaylee, I'm sorry, Kaylee Nash. Kaylee Fleming, my bad, as Judah. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
So as I say, I did not get to attend the panel. I saw that the trailer dropped. Did you get to see the crowd's reaction to the trailer?
No.
We heard it.
We heard it. It was really amazing. It was really loud. They were all like, whoa. But we didn't get to see it because we were backstage. But we did get to hear it.
Well, as long as you were able to feel the vibrations. I imagine when Carol had her special line, the crowd went absolutely nuts.
Which line is that?
I don't say it on camera.
Has to die?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it was in the trailer. Yeah, I didn't think that would be in the trailer.
Oh, well, I'm sure. Did it like rock the house?
I think there was a reaction to it, but the trailer goes so fast. It's so filled and so fast.
Right.
It's hard to know what they were reacting to, but they were loud and boisterous.
I would also imagine that the final image with Michonne.
I heard that.
Did that blow some minds?
We all heard that one.
I think we reacted to that backstage as well.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so have you guys completely wrapped the season? Are you done?
I don't know.
No, you're still shooting?
I don't know.
That's right. That's excellent.
I don't know.
What is this? This is July, and we typically we shoot, and I don't think it's any secret, May through November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to say I don't know to everything.
I don't know. Just say I don't know.
All right, so what can you whisper to us about it that will blow the fans' minds? And yes, whisper.
Go on, Mr. Whisperer.
Yeah.
Whisper away.
She's got it. Take the floor.
What can I whisper
What's coming
about?
up in season 10 that's not going to spoil anything? You're looking forward to. Oh, come on.
Come on.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. Expect I'm supposed to whisper. Expect an adventure.
Oh man.
Is that too much to say?
What did you
No,
say?
that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. You have to survive the apocalypse so you can
It's
go
like
play Sapphire.
enticing, but you've told them nothing.
Yes. And I just have to call out Samantha Morton, a fan for a long time, and it's such a pleasure watching her in this role.
Pretty amazing.
She actually creeps you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
She cools the room as soon
Yeah.
as she comes in.
Yeah.
The hot Georgia sun goes behind the cloud when Samantha Morton's ready to go.
She's like the exact opposite of Alpha, though.
You know, I was thinking that.
Yeah, in real life, you
Say
mean?
that. Yes.
You
she
could
couldn't
see
not
in
be
the
farther
video.
from-
She's really.
Oh, she
cute.
gave a video for because she couldn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
So she did a little video for the fans, but she was totally alphaed out.
Uh-huh.
But she was being her sweet self.
Oh, nice.
It was so fun.
Yeah, I interviewed her for The Messenger, and I just think she's a wonderful actress. The things she did for that role. Okay, so one of the big questions you guys must be dealing with is the end of the comic. Of course, your show has diverged so much from the comic. I don't know if it affects you in any way. Did you have any inkling that the comic was going to end? Did you have inside dope?
None, right? I
Not
think
any.
we really didn't know. That's the one we can actually honestly answer that we didn't know was going to happen. We were just as shocked as everyone
I didn't know
else.
it was going to happen, and I didn't know that it did happen after it did happen because I'm always the last to know anything.
I was
But
I was on
wasn't
set.
afraid that it would affect the
Yeah.
show.
When-
Yeah, and some people were like, "What does this mean?" You know, they were asking. They were like, "What does this mean?" It's like,
You
It's
were
like the
upset?
Brexit for
Did
The
you say
Walking
you were
Dead.
upset?
no, I said
happens
I was
now?
on set when the day it drops.
Did you have a feeling that it might?
I had no idea at all.
Did you have a concern that maybe, well, I wonder does this mean anything for the show?
Well, actually not because of Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones diverged so much. They're flying blind.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no plan
no
for them.
books.
And you guys have gone so far away with Rick, and you've announced 2 movies and another spin-off. So
Yeah, and another spin-off. I think I was feeling the same way when I did finally hear about it. I wasn't really concerned because it's sort of become its own thing, and even though some characters have gone, they're just starting something else new in the universe of The Walking Dead, and we have new characters like these guys. And
well, we just had the cast of Fear the Walking Dead in here, and they were talking about their musical talents, and we thought maybe you guys could get together and do a musical movie.
I think it would make a great
musical
musical
episode.
You
That sounds
They
good.
have Ruben Blades.
I know you.
It's-
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
know
good.
you
Who's an
jest,
actor, music
but I
music
tell
legend.
you, one day somebody is gonna make the Walking Dead universe musical. I
What
can
would we sing
see
about?
it now. I don't know if it'll be Gimple, but somebody gonna do it.
Wait a minute. What would we sing about?
I don't know if it's gonna be us.
Walkers.
It'll be. It could be 10,
The
15,
Walkers
20,
could
30
be
years from now.
singing.
Walk This Way.
It'll be. I think so. It'll be
Boots are
gender
made for
bending
walking.
in another way.
Well, there you go. I have to ask you.
Genre. What are you talking about? Genre bending.
I knew you were where are you going with that.
It's been a long day, guys. Forgive me.
I have to ask you a serious narrative question here about Negan, because it looks more and more like he could be normalized and assimilated into your society, and that kind of blows my mind. Do you think
Remember Glenn?
people that somebody who has done what he has done could be or should be reintegrated into your society?
Well, you're asking that question, and that's where we wanted to leave you, right? I mean, we wanted you to have that question in your head, so then mission accomplished. Right?
Yes, you could put it that way.
Yeah.
But how about you guys? Have you considered
Or
it?
is it possible that anyone could get to a point where they do? Has anyone not done what he's done?
Right.
Do you know?
At this point in
Has
the
anyone
apocalypse,
not-
everyone
Has
is a
anybody-
killer to some
I'm
extent.
not.
I'm
But I'm
gonna
not
gimpleize.
intent. I'm not really talking about intent, because he was completely evil in what he did.
Right. It was intent was horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
Motivation.
Remember Glenn.
Exactly. Remember Glenn.
But
we,
at
re-
some
we
but
remember
like-
Glenn.
But the thing
and Abraham.
the thing about that is that you think about what made him that. Was he just psychotic before this broke out? Did he become that way? Or is he doing it because he can get away with it, and it was always just something in his head that he was,
But I think this season does a great job of asking who's the
Well,
good guy.
those are very serious questions that, the decisions about those things will be made presumably by Scott Gimple and Angela
Yeah.
King. But then
But
it opens another
Does
question
it
as to,
redeem? Is he
Exactly.
even able to?
right. I mean, to the rest
I mean,
of
letting him go
society.
completely free. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because I mean, those are life sentence offenses.
Yeah, it
You
seems
know.
that way.
So that's how Danai stands on it. But I'm not talking about Michonne.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
talking about
anyway,
the
he's psychotic.
Well, if
Yeah,
if
and that's the thing. I mean, all
You
of-
just
but
slid
Michonne
into-
is
you just
responsible
slid-
with
I just-
Rick, who's not around, but Michonne is responsible for why he's still alive.
Can we
'cause he
just
would've
talk
been
about how
had they
smoothly
kept
you
him
just
alive.
slid into talking in the third person? And just like everybody bought it. She was just like, and that's where Danai stands on it. Boom. I was like, wow.
She is one of those
Look at
people who
her.
can get away with
I
it.
was just
That-
distinguishing. I was distinguishing.
Distinguishing Danai from Michonne,
Yeah.
both in the third person.
Well, speaking of Danai,
Person.
does Danai yet know when Danai is actually leaving the show? Do you have a
Actually
plan?
leaving?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a plan for Danai?
Oh, you weren't at the panel. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I wasn't at the panel.
Yeah.
So do you have any say in how you exit? I mean, you're not going to tell us, obviously,
No,
right?
I'm not gonna tell you. But
That's
what
right.
I will,
She doesn't know.
I know nothing. But what I will say in my know nothingness is that they, the great thing about this show is they are they're fantastic at creating. Great structure for everyone's story. I mean, I was in that room where they have all the pictures of people who've left the show, and everyone's exit has been so specific and so really resonant in its own very original way. And so there was no exception to that in my case. I'm very thankful for that, and I was allowed to be a collaborator.
good.
But they created a very, very, very sound structure of how Michonne exits, which
Okay.
I was very thankful for.
Just, because, for instance, Sasha got to go out like a boss, and I mean, hopefully she doesn't go out. I mean, I think that there will be a lot of outrage forever if she does. I just want to ask one more thing about the show. Actually, just give a shout out to Angela King, because I think that I love her storytelling sense. I think that she has done a lot of great things to sort of recalibrate the way the show moves and the arc of the show. Do you guys have a sense of that difference without dissing anybody else? How do you?
It's hard to do.
Well, let's just talk about what Angela did, not what happened before her.
Hey.
What is your feeling about her? How would you describe how it is working with her as a showrunner?
I think she has an impeccable sense of storytelling and structure, and she's not afraid to take risks. And I think, without giving anything away about this season, she's able to instill such a feeling of threat throughout frames and words and characters and story that, I know I personally, anytime I get an email that says a new episode is out, I stop what I'm doing and I read and sort of quiver as I read these episodes. And that's credit to her as a storyteller. I mean, who would have bet that she comes on in season 9 and writes, I think it's Rotten Tomatoes #1 season, 9 years in. That's incredible. And she's, going to hit it out the park again this year. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
And she's very collaborative at the same time, and I think that's always great leadership. Is when you're very secure in your vision and you're collaborative at the same time. So you allow people to really feel like fellow ownership.
Right.
And she's fantastic.
And that's not just with the actors either, or the writers. It's the crew, department heads, and everybody involved in making the show.
Yeah, you get the best
Look
work
and
out of
feel the
people
way it
when
does.
they feel appreciated, they feel free to
They worked
be
hard
what
to
they
get
can
to
do.
where they are, and I'm sure they have a unique vision that, it goes all in the same story we're all trying to tell.
Kaylee,
It's a
there-
great collaboration.
horrible things happen in the show. Do they sometimes have to? Do you feel like they're sort of protecting you from the horrible things on the show, or
No.
you're just there for it?
When reality is so bad.
Well, Judith is never exposed to any of that, really, I don't think. Michonne kind of keeps her protected from all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's heard stories from Negan about things he's done, but she's never been exposed to that yet.
Okay. All right, guys, you are at Comic-Con, and it has to be your first Comic-Con, right?
Yes!
Okay. So what are the most mind-blowing, crazy things you've seen, especially you? What have you seen at Comic-Con that's made you go, whoa?
The crowd for the panel was... What is a big adjective I could use?
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
Okay.
There were so many people. There was a bunch of lines of people that you couldn't see all of the people. But maybe it was because of the lights. Because there were lights in our face and you couldn't really see. But there was like so many people.
You guys have been to so many of these. Are you still amazed by it, or do you have a memory of it that sticks with you?
I think
That's Norman again.
this is just really does sound very painful in there. I don't know. I think my first impression will always be the most amazing thing about it. Year after year will be the very first time I came.
Yeah.
Which was, there's so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize how big that fandom is. You shoot in this isolated away from everything, and then you come here and you're like, people really watch the show. There are these people. This is really real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know. It's so interesting because it's like, there's this energy and it's always new. I always find it to be new. Like today, Nadia asked me, "Do you stop being nervous?" And you don't, because you're walking out there and you're going to share this real special time with a lot of people who've really supported the story that we've been trying to tell, and you want it to be a special time for them, and you want it to be a wonderful exchange, and so there is you want it to be satisfying for them, and so the nerves never entirely go away. But that's also it keeps it really exciting and a really beautiful event that you walk in there and year after year, Hall H is filled right to the brim.
Yeah.
And that's something that just fills you with gratitude, and so each year it's a new energy that you're engaging in together, and that's kind of the thrilling thing, because you never know what you never know the crest or the wave of it. It's just going to be what it's going to be.
Okay, thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Forward to this.
you.